called Vision Quest Run Wagon Trains. What we are is a wagon train for kids that have been in trouble. It's a way for them to come out of their communities. We're not a lockup. It's a way for them to come out of their communities and earn their way back home, basically. This wagon train started in Yeehaw Junction, Florida, and it's headed for Pennsylvania. We stay on the roads year-round.
Where are the kids from? They're from the southeast?
Pennsylvania, New Jersey, but all the way up from Vermont, down into Florida, some of them.
And how long have you been with the organization?
I've been with them 11 years.
11 years. What's your specialty? You're in youth correction. What's your?
Yes, I have a degree in correctional administration.
Okay.
But I chose to work with juveniles.
Okay. Now, are you associated with the state correctional system, or you're a private organization?
We're a private organization. We deal with the state correctional institutions. A lot of these kids would have went there had they not gone into our program. So basically, we're an alternative to lockup for juvenile offenders.
Okay. Thank you very much, and I hope I have an opportunity to talk to some of the kids and other people in your program.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. So, how long you guys have been in the program?
I've been in the program 13 months.
13 months.
I've been here 9 months.
What have you learned from being in the program?
Huh?
What have you learned? You're a better person by being in the program?
Appreciate things. Yeah, appreciate, missing home, doing the right things, especially working as a family. You gotta work as a family.
What are some of the things you get involved in? You get involved in some kind of training program or skill type training?
Like, it's basically family orientation. Yeah. Because a lot of us, spend a lot of time away from our family, It gives you a lot of time to be a family. Do some of the things you didn't do when you were home. Because a lot of us spend a lot of time in the street. That's what it's basically all about. I know. I got her. Nah, big girl. This is real new to most of us anyway.
I see you guys from the cities, right?
Yes. Yeah. A lot of us never been on here. With animals.
That's one of the things I've learned, that by being in an area where you can utilize your talent and get away from the city sometime and see what's out in the other part of the the United States, it's a lesson in itself.
Sure. We wasn't used to none of this. They broke us in just so we can be able to do things like this. Real versatile. State to state. This experience that you can never forget.
In terms of lodging, y'all sleep right in your wagon here?
No, we sleep in teepees.
And you pitch a tent? Teepees?
Yeah.
What about in terms of food now? How do you get your food supply and things?
We have a cook chef. They have a trailer where they make all our food.
And
they have a kitchen, it's a built-in kitchen.
And then water too?
We have a water buffalo. They hook it up to the fire hydrant and put water in. I think it holds like 120-something gallons. I don't know where our camp is. It'd be nice for you to come past and see our camp.
Okay.
20 miles.
Okay, where you camp?
We probably about around like 13 miles from the camp.
13 miles from the camp. Must be on the side of the county then.
Huh?
It must be on the other side of the county.
Yes. You'll like to see the camp. The teepee, holding camp. You'll like to see that. It's nice stuff.
approximately how many young men you got in the program?
In the whole program
Yeah.
or just down here?
Down here.
On this train,
Like 7.
about 70, 75.
This is another train right behind us.
Rough ride.
Tomorrow they'll be coming past too. They'll be moving to our camp and we'll be moving to another one.
Okay.
There's 2 wagon trains. They're always a day behind us.
Okay.
This is the East Coast and the Rough Riders is the train behind us. This is a more disciplined train.
Feel the bumps in the roads.
Wow.
Did you know we were coming through here?
I just, my department indicated that the train came through a few days ago. But I was just returning from church and I saw the group and I came and I said, well, let me get my camera out and I like to talk to some of you guys and because I work with young people in my community. That's one of the things I like to see, you know, young people getting a chance to try to turn their lives around and try to do things that they're going to contribute to their community and their society. And I think most young people, only thing they want is a fair chance, a fair break. And once they're given that, I think they can visualize, how they want to, deal with the future. But oftentimes, young people, it's not given a fair chance, a fair break.
Well, being in the city, most of the time you only get to see things one way.
One way, that is correct.
Most of our parents, most of us had good parents and they brought us up, right? I was never brought up to live the way I did, but I thought it was cool, to be in the streets, to sell drugs and be into all that, But this is like the last chance for me, instead of going to jail.
Yeah.
Because I could have been in jail.
Well, we got some of the young people in our community, not as many. Sometimes the adults are responsible for trying to provide the kind of program. In Allendale, we try to have the recreation program, other kind of programs, so that the young people have something constructive to do. So the young people have a lot of energy, and they're going to have to get rid of that energy.
Right.
If they have positive things, then they can get rid of that energy doing positive things.
Right.
In our police department, we have a police lead, and our officers coaching the youth basketball program.
So we don't have a whole lot of that,
Yeah.
We have baseball, we have football. Kids 8 and 9 years old, we got them in uniform, supervised program.
See, where I'm from, sports used to be, a major thing, but it's not no more. Going out, hanging out on the corner, that's...
Well, I'm saying the community has to provide those things for, for the young people. If you have like basketball, football, and other kind of programs, if those things are in the community, you're going to take advantage of it. But if they're not in the community, you'll find other things to do, and those other things may not necessarily be all that constructive.
Crazy when we first up. So that's why we call her Silver. What's this?
Well, he's one of your advisors.
He's an outright. He's our assistant third.
He helped the herd.
I guess you guys are you broken down into certain groups, different groups? And you have an advisor or leader for each group?
Yes.
Approximately how many number of people in each group?
12 to 16.
Okay, pretty much the groups stay together and do things together.
Yes. They have 6 different groups. We have girls too, right?
Now I didn't realize that you got girls too.
Yeah, they're all way up in the front.
They're on this wagon train?
Yes. We have 6 girls.
6 girls? Oh, I didn't realize that. Okay. You can say they're in the front of the wagon train?
They up front. They have 2 wagons up front.
Okay.
He came down from the main office to run the train.
You got some food? No.
the young people in our community, how to not to get involved in certain things, what would you tell them? What lesson have you learned?
I have learned that there's other alternatives. I was always one track, and there's always things you can do to stay out of trouble. I miss going to the movies with my girlfriend. I didn't think that was a whole lot, before, but now I can't even talk to a girl. Only thing I can do is receive a letter. When you have a lot of time to think, you can sit back and look at things. You can find other things that you can get into that are positive instead of always looking at the negative things. You got something to say?
Oh, well, for me, it's just that easy break of, me not, being away from my daughter. And what I did, I realized that selling drugs, being around, going around in fancy cars and all this other fancy clothes and stuff is not in now. In the world today is you gotta have a job, you gotta make it. You got to make it in this world. My mom told me on the phone, and when she told me, I got to go back to my job, and I gotta make a career, because I'm trying to go to law school after I finish my 12th grade year. I want to go to law school.
And how old are you now?
I'm 19.
19. How old are you?
I'm 17.
And your name again?
Lawrence.
Lawrence?
Yes.
Okay.
Mine's is more case.
Okay, Lawrence what now?
Lawrence L. And I'm from Philadelphia.
Okay.
Mine's is more case Williamson.
All right.
I'm from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
That'd be a lot easier.
Okay.
A lot more manageable. But we appreciate the majority.
Ready?
Huh? Yeah.
You ready?
I guess we'll get to a point where you can see, okay?
All right.
Get fat as it is, it's great.
You guys get a chance to see a lot of the countryside. I guess you didn't know all these kind of places existed, did you?
All these what?
These kind of little small places in the United States.
I come from
Where you from? Philadelphia?
No, I'm from a small town in New Jersey.
Oh, New Jersey. What have you learned in this program? Is it a lesson learned yet?
Yeah, a lot.
How long have you been in this program?
Like a year.
How many? A year?
A year.
Okay, if you had to tell some of the young men, what advice would you give them?
What, too good?
Huh? What kind of advice would you give them?
Stay out of trouble.
Stay out of trouble? But that's, how do you get the kids to stay out of trouble?
Talk to them.
Talk to them? But you got to find something from within and try to rebound from it, right?
Yeah.
Hey,
Okay.
Jed, what's up? Can you hear?
We get pretty hard on the animals, so even though we're running a little bit late today, we're going to go ahead and stop and water them.
How many miles have you covered today?
About 16.
16?
Been averaging about 16 miles a day.
Okay.
We're usually out quite a bit earlier in the morning, but because of the fog this morning, and we had a couple repairs to make, but we got out kind of late.
Okay.
So we're about an hour and a half late, which starts getting warmer and more humid. Downhill here.
You guys didn't know you were going to be a celebrity, I mean. You guys didn't know y'all were going to be a celebrity coming through this town, innit? When you can decide within yourself that you want to turn it around. You feel that you're getting some of the things that may help you turn it around?
I think I changed a lot. Like I used to have an attitude now it's all gone. I help myself.
When you say attitude about what?
Yeah, like an attitude.
What, you would
get angry like real fast.
Hate the world or something like that? Yeah. Without any kind of reason?
Yeah, it'd be angry.
If I come up to you and you just look at me and you want to knock me over the head or something like that, that the kind of attitude you take?
Yeah, something like that. And they changed it a lot.
And I bet you didn't know why you had that kind of attitude. You know, you just had it and you didn't know what was causing it. You feel now, you got a grip on what was causing that attitude?
A lot. I'll be going home soon too.
Home soon?
Yeah.
But you have to, like I say, you have to make it within yourself now that what you want, what you want to do. And you need people to help you too, though.
I like it here because they be trying to push you to get your problems out. So that's better for me.
Now, if you had to tell the young people, about how to avoid some of the things that you have gotten into, how would you say that?
I would tell them I would tell them to go somewhere and talk about it.
You think someone can learn from your experience without having to do what you did?
Yeah.
You think you can influence kids in your community not to do what you do?
Yeah, but some of them don't want to learn. That's the problem.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't care. They just do what they want.
What do you think that most young people just want to be appreciated, just want to be cared about?
They want attention, like a lot of attention. And I guess the mom and dad ain't giving it to them enough. And they just be getting mad. They go off and like, oh, they don't care, and they just go do stuff.
What about in sports? You get involved in sports. Sometimes you can release that kind of frustration by playing basketball, or football, baseball, or tennis.
I used to play soccer.
Soccer, yeah.
Then I stopped. Then I used to ride dirt bikes a lot. My little brother, I was teaching him how to ride dirt bikes.
Yeah.
Then I got in trouble and came here. And I was working out problems I had at home. When I was home, I used to get in trouble a lot. When I go home now, my mom's moving to Florida, so that'd be better for me. Where I come from, we get into a lot of drugs there and all that. She's gonna move out.
You got to look from within, to try to not to go back and do this, some of the things that you did before. You got to feel good about yourself. That's the main thing. If you can feel good about yourself and do the thing, get involved in a lot of positive things, I think you can make it. But as long as you're around a lot of negative things, sometimes that influence you to go back to your old ways.
If you don't want it, see some people, if you don't want to get help, it will never work.
That's true.
If you want somebody to help you, it's going to work. If you don't want nobody to help you, and you're just going to sit there and let it go out one ear, it's never going to get done.
But the young people, though, they'll need to realize that in order for them to get help, they have to understand that they need help. And a lot of times, a young person don't realize that they need help until it's too late.
Until they get older and nobody teaches them.
Teach them, that's right. If you teach them starting at a younger age, I think you can prevent a lot of the things that happen to you and other kids.
See, sometimes I don't be shown it, but Vision Quest is a good program, and it can help a lot of people. See, they'll work with you if you work with them. If you don't work with them, they can't help you.
Yeah.
They're trying, but it ain't gonna work that much. But if you work with them, it's always gonna work with you. See, if they have programs like this a lot of places, I think they would help a lot of people. They help me for sure. It's easy, man. Some kids here don't want to get no help. So they don't throw them off. They don't just leave them there. They be like, okay, when you need help, just tell me. So they go to somebody else and help them. So it's all right. I like it. Go. Yeah, go for it.
Each end for the animals to maintain our equipment and bring our equipment back up to what it should be. But they're on the road year-round. We have full-time teachers out here with us, full-time nurse, things like that. Education is important for the kids. They can learn how to do the wagon train better than anybody in the world. But if they don't have their education when they leave us, then they're up against, they're in a no-win situation after they leave the program. So we're actually becoming a alternative educational program. Is what we will be known as. People know us for our wagon trains and our outdoor impact programs like our backpack quests and things like that. But we're working on our education to the point where these young men and young women can leave with high school diplomas or go back to their own high schools if they so choose.
How many units of the wagon train do you have?
We've got 3 wagon trains running right now, 2 on the East Coast and 1 on the West Coast. Sometimes we have a 3rd small train on the East Coast and a 2nd small train on the West Coast. not their first choice. They build a strong work ethic out here, a lot of kids do, and a sense of pride, and we hope they take that back to their families. But if you ask any one of them out here, and you know, I understand it. I don't know if a lot of newer staff do, but I understand it completely that this is not their first choice. Their first choice is to be home and with their families and growing up and graduating from high school and things like that. But when they were home, the priorities were all different. The priorities were all, you know, about what kind of clothes they were wearing and where their money was coming from and things like that. Things that street life leads a lot of kids into trouble. So our effort here is to get back down to basics. There's a number one word around here is probably accountability. I'm accountable for 75 kids and 42 staff and 46 animals and 12 wagons. And if we break it down, certain kids take care of this wagon, or sometimes just one certain kid. Certain kids will take care of that wagon. This animal is one kid's animal. I ride them, but the young man helps to take care of it. And it's something it's a voluntary thing.
Do you teach any kind of marketable skill where these kids can take those kind of skills and bring it back to the community and to the...
Well, I think what we're building is you know, the skills where I tell them they may never use this again, but the skills that they had to put forth to learn this and the effort they had to put forth to learn this, that's what's going to carry them through high school. That's what's going to keep them around their families, and that's what's going to keep them in a job. Is the kind of things that they've learned out here about accountability, about themselves. You know, we slowed things down, as you can see, 4 miles an hour instead of 70 miles an hour in a car. But that's all meant for them to slow down and make some choices.
What about in terms of success? How successful generally your program has been over the last 2 years?
Generally, the best way I can put it is that the follow-up exams and follow-up for our program, and all programs right now, what the follow-up is whether a young man or a young woman goes to jail again. And before it used to be if they were rearrested. Now it comes down to whether some of our kids are going to be borderline for a long time, but it's whether they go back to jail.
Well,
better than 50% of our kids are not locked up anymore.
Okay. What about in terms of the term of their stay in this program? What the average length of the time kids spend in the program? That's a big ball of wax to talk about. Generally 12 to 14 months, depending on where the kids are from. Each county has their own court juvenile system, and a young man from one county doesn't necessarily stay as long as a young man from another county. But generally 12 to 14 months, and 6 months of that, 4 to 6 months of that is on the wagon train. Now, all of the kids, have they gone through a juvenile court system, or this is prior to going through the juvenile court system?
No, they've all been through the juvenile court system, and they're actually on probation in our custody.
Okay.
They're actually on probation to us, to our program.
Otherwise, your program is an alternate sentencing, for lack of any better word, for the kids?
Yes, yes. And with a lot of kids, it's they take this choice over lockup.
Okay, thank you.
I'll tell you what, if you want to get stupid about it, this is not the place to do it. Follow these instructions. Walker! Walker! People know that you've been, toughing it out. I just want buckets under there when you're flashing your head.
Yo, what? Right here?
You got Lisa right there.
Hey, I know. No, stop, no more.
Pull a bit out. Sorry. Stop.
No more. Good. Nice, good flat deal. So they switched it though. They switched it 3 times.
Start in the middle one. 1 and 2 in the front, 2 in the back, and 2 in the middle.
You have to remind me, because I'll forget.
Why ain't you got the feed buckets, man?
I know that the thing about these is they can't stick their head in too far because speed trucks are pretty floppy to carry.
Don't clean your mouth one day. Yeah, clean it. There's noise going on. He gonna drink out of here. Don't put it in his mouth. She don't want it in his mouth. Try to drink it. Let's go get you some more.
Who's at the sidewalk? Diesel coming!
Diesel coming!
Alright, just you got it.
Stand it off.
You got that big ass.
John, you gonna water your animals?
Yeah, I said I water mine and go back and then Steve can come on.
Who's standing 56?
Yeah, where we gonna start at, Glenn? For real. Would you take that camera somewhere else, man? Over here on the other side, bud.
Back over here.
I'm getting big.
Oh, you must got a small bucket. You're a Bob. You should never sit down while you have an animal. That don't mean nothing. Going on, my boy. All right, that's enough.
Yo.
Hey, Mecca, hand me that upper water thing. Let me see what you do to your tongue.
No. Well.
Matt, give me the upper water. No. I want to see what happens.
Ulmer, how do you think the program has affected your life? You think you've gotten some good out of this program?
Yeah. I think I got a lot of good out of the program.
How long have you been in the program?
8 months.
8 months? So, you seem you got a lot out of it?
Yeah, I got a lot out of it. Show me how to deal with my issues. And not to run away from my problems.
You had to tell young men back in the community some of the things that can prevent them from, having so many problems. What would you tell them?
if I had to tell them what would prevent them from having so many problems, I would tell them do not run away from them, just to deal with them and talk things out.
You're saying this program will help you very much.
Yeah.
And this young man, your name's?
It's Victor.
Victor.
Yes.
How do you feel that the program, you benefit from the program?
Yes, and somewhat I have. In a lot of ways, it's changed me and made me a better person for myself.
If you had to talk to some of the adults in your community, and what would you ask them that you need for them to do in order to help other kids?
I would tell them, like, if they have problems, to deal with their problems and to cope with their problems at home, whether in school, home, and other places. I would tell them to cope with it so they wouldn't have to end up in a place like this, away from their families.
I guess you were saying the only thing you want is someone to, pay some attention to you and care about you, and give you some kind of program and thing that can help you make the right choices.
Yeah.
You feel that after this program, you're going to try to your best ability to try to make some of the right choices?
Yeah.
Okay, now, how old are you?
14.
14, and you, Victor?
19.
19? Okay. Okay, thank you guys, and may God bless you.
You too.
Come on, we'll just come on the outside. Yeah, I mean, Glenn. Hey, Glenn. Hey, Glenn. How do you like that? Car coming! Glenn. You know what I mean?
Started trying to thaw it down. I wanted to make sure the animals got some water. They're refreshed. We've had a good break. Take it in the right way here. Don't get sloppy driving. Keep it sharp. Okay, after these two cars come by, wave them on, Rod. 1 minute.
1 minute.
Cars coming.
Cars come in. Yo, Glenn. Everybody pulling out at the same time? Yeah.
Roger. Roger. I was talking to him back there. This gentleman up here in the back of the wagon from around here, he said 30 miles. I stopped at the gas station. Okay. That's a weak ass thing. Okay, Teamsters!
Teamsters!
It's just gonna be wagons, get ready now, I'm gonna move them out. Wagons, get ready!
Wagons, get ready!
All in road at the same time?
Pulling out at the road at the same time?
No, just follow the wagons. Okay, follow the wagon in front of you!
Follow the wagon in front of you!
Move them out!
Move them out!
Watch it, bud, watch it back there! I'll introduce you to Steve Fuller, assistant wagon master. We talk about a million things over here, but mainly just teaching all the time and learning something every day. We do, same as the kids. Shared experiences maybe stop something from happening farther on down the road. all about. Walking, Willie, you're doing good. No.
Yes.
Come on, Jose.
Man, I already sung already, man.
Jose, you promised me after the water break.
All right, then.
No.
What do you want me to say?
I want to hear about Caballo Quito.
I already sung.
Caballo
Did
Quito.
not talk me. Did I sing?
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did.
I didn't hear it.
Yeah, because he was all the way back
Come on,
there.
sing for me.
Hey, Glenn.
Sing for me.
Hey, Glenn.
Sing for me.
Hey, you said for
You
Glenn.
promised. You
You
promised
said for
after
Glenn.
the
I
water
didn't
break.
promise. I didn't promise after the water break. It don't have to be now. I said after the water. Come on.
Come on, sing
I already, I'm saying I said after the water break. That don't mean now.
No. We got to sing together, June.
You don't know how to sing.
I can sing it. You just gotta tell me how. Come on.
I'm trying to make you on, man.
Come on, man.
Front Street.
Come on,
Oh, man. Why don't you start singing?
Come on,
Shy, man. I'm camera shy, man.
Come on, Jose.
Just one, Jose. Just one. Just a little bit.
Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Come on, up where you can hear it now.
Es mi caballo pinto, este caballito mío, yo lo amo, porque es mi caballo pinto, el caballo pinto mío, es bonito, yo lo quiero, el caballo, este caballo bonito mío, el caballo pinto. That's all I know. That's it, man.
There you go. That's great.
I ain't got to think of the parents, bro.
Diamonds of gold, what's life? Lone Star belt buckles and old faded Levi's. Each night begins a new day. Don't understand it, they don't die young. They'll probably just ride away. Mamas, don't let your babies grow up to be teamsters. Don't let them pick guitars and drive coal wagons. Make them be doctors and lawyers and such. Mama, don't let your babies grow up to be teamsters. They'll never stay home and they're always alone, even with someone they love. Right, Willie?
way, I guess.
That's it. That's all she wrote.
I'm gonna do one for the camera.
If I can sing it for you. I don't sing. Plus, I don't remember the words. Let Bud sing it. He can sing. Bud, you sing the song.
In our program, if the kids are acting out where they're being self-destructive or they're being aggressive towards others, it's called the center of attention. It's a place where we put them in the middle where they're closer supervised. And gives them a chance to calm down and relax a little bit before we put them back in the teepees. And for the kids to get in trouble a lot, we had assistant wagon master out here. When they come back to the COA, that would be his song for them, Welcome Back. And all the kids in the COA would sing it as they came back to the COA. And then, Billy, what was the song that you sing when you go back to the teepee?
Take Me Back.
Oh, Take Me Back was the song the teepee would sing when the kids came out of the COA and went back to their teepees. So, we got a good musical group.
Let me hear this Welcome Back. It sounds very interesting.
It's the Welcome Back Cotter theme song, and I don't know all the words to it. Like I said, the assistant wagon master.
Just hum it if you don't know the words.
He's the leader of that one.
You do know the words.
I don't know the words.
Go get Rayford. He knows the words.
Rayford knows the words. I would get him back there. When we get into camp, I'll get Rayford to sing it for you.
Hey, Bud, where's your goal? Where's your goal?
You ain't got no lug wrench.
Diesel coming! I don't think they gas the grease last night. I already told you. You want to crack
Why don't you see if we can get in and fit it?
You need a pipe wrench. You can't get this one unless you get this one.
Oh, you gotta take that one on. I got our four-way anyway.
I need a pipe wrench. I got a wheel going dry here. But I need a pipe wrench.
It can't be dry.
Well, sometimes it needs heat if it wasn't gas and grease properly last week or if it wasn't.
Well, I wasn't on the wagon last week. I was
I'm not placing blame right now. See what I'm saying? You don't grab the lug nut like this. Just put your fingers on it. You can tell if there's any grease on the axle. If there's no grease on the axle, you get that friction, Steve.
Well, man, we need a pipe wrench.
See what I'm saying? That friction comes all the way out.
Pipe wrench.
That nut.
Pipe wrench.
Okay, let me see if we can. Al, make sure you're standing your teams up there. Okay, when that spindle starts going hot and dry. What do we got, bro? You got a pipe wrench? Anybody got a rag and a wagon or something?
Harrisburg, Pennsylvania.
Okay. How do you feel that this program has it helped you any in terms of getting yourself together?
Yeah, it's helped me get myself together enough to go home and get my act right.
Yeah. How old are you?
17.
13. Yeah. Okay. What have you learned since you've been in the? How long have you been in the program?
7 months.
7 months. What have you learned? By participating in the program.
Well, I learned a lot. I learned how to work with animals and get along with people without being violent. Everything, a lot. Going to school like I'm supposed to. I go home and go back to school.
That's great. I'd like to see you guys, get yourself together and it come from within. You got to, dig deep inside and try to understand, what you want out of life.
Yeah. I got the opportunity to go the right way. I'm going the right way for once.
It takes a lot of hard work now. It's gonna.
Yeah.
I know you're determined, but I feel it's gonna take a lot of hard work. And when the first setback comes, don't get discouraged. You have to fight on and keep it up. Okay, thank you, and may God bless you.
Thank you. Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. I've been here almost a year now. And I had learned a lot about my education, how to raise myself when I go home, and about dealing with people and everything. But I had a bad attitude when I first came. Now I know how to deal with it.
I guess getting the experience to how things are done and getting in the habit of doing things on a regular basis. I guess that you learn. You learn how to get along with other people. Okay. If you had to tell the guys back in your community how not to, get yourself involved in some of the things that you've been involved in, what would you tell them?
Don't do it. It ain't worth it. It's not worth all the time to do. That's what it's doing.
Okay. May God bless you.
Easier for me to come out here and adapt to certain things, but other parts of it are like, I don't want to do it because like the weather. When it gets cold, you're cold. When it gets wet, you're wet. When it gets cold and wet, you're miserable.
You guys do this in the wintertime too?
Yeah, but during the wintertime, we're normally down Florida. You see, what we do is we move with the seasons. So during the summer, we go up north where it's warm, and it's been real hot down south. But then during the winter, we're up when it's cold up north, and it's still warm down south. So the temperature pretty much stays the same on the whole trip, back and forth. I started in Tennessee, going south.
How long have you been in the program?
I've been in the program 15 months.
If you look at one thing or a few things in this program that have pretty much reshaped your thinking, your attitude, what would those things be?
They kind of put themselves in a situation where it's like they're a parent. Because that's something I never had was parents. They put themselves in a situation where it's like they're going to say, no, you're not going to do this. And if you do, you're going to have to suffer a consequence. And eventually he gets fed up with doing the consequence, so you do what you're told, is what it amounts up to.
Okay, so the lesson learned, if you had to tell young people when you go back to your community, what are some of the lessons learned that you can
listen
relate
to your parents, because your parents will teach. Your parents are always going to try and teach you the best that they can.
How do you get young people to get committed to that idea? You're going to set a certain
trial and error. Trial and error. That's about what it is, because you got to. I mean, if you try, you got to try to find out that what your parents told you is real. Because I mean, a lot of kids, like I always looked at it when my mom told me something to do, which is that she doesn't know any better. I know what I'm doing. That kids know everything attitude, and I realize now that mom knew better. I should have listened to her.
Are you still in high school, or you're out of high school?
Well, right now I'm going to the school here, and when I get out of here, I'll have to probably do one more year in high school.
You indicated that you're musically inclined. What are some of the musical instruments? You say you play different kind of musical instrument?
The main instrument I play is guitar, but I can play saxophone fairly well, and I mess around a little bit with the trumpet, clarinet, flute, drums, somewhat.
Are you going to seek a career in music?
Right now I don't know what I'm going to do, but that's probably what the music will always be a part of my life in one form or another. I'll make some amount of money from it.
Okay, thank you, and may God bless you.
May God bless you, and have a good day.
these stops cost us some time. We were probably ready to pull out about 7:30, quarter to 8 this morning, and waited for the fog to get going. I snapped a couple single trees. It probably took me about 45 minutes to fix. And then when you saw us stop there for that wheel, I had a spindle. You could hear it start to squeak. Nobody knew what the squeak was, but we tracked it down. It was a spindle getting real hot. And we stopped to grease that. Usually we're off the road by about 1 o'clock. So you add all those things up today, it's 3 o'clock. And it puts the animals into a couple more hours of difficult heat than we normally would put them into. So, combination of things, we just slow it down, do the watering stop for them. I really keep a good eye on my pace so that we can ease them in to the camp, and we'll take good care of watering them and grooming them up today and things like that. But usually we're off the road, same miles, usually we're off the road about 1 o'clock, and it's 3 o'clock today. Kids did a pretty good job overall, except for maybe Tony's driving here in the earth wagon. That was pretty shaky.
The way he was driving this wagon, I thought he had Monroe shocks on his wagon. I didn't feel any bumps at all.
He did a good job. Did a good job. Then we unhook, take care of our wagon work, which is wash the salt and dirt off our tack, and water our animals. We'll probably wait a few minutes before we water our animals, let them cool down a little bit, and we'll probably water our animals 3 times tonight. Once now, once before feeding, and once after feeding. So the animals will be actually watered 3 more times. At least 3 times today, even though it's only since it's 3 o'clock.
I-26, 1, 2, 3. I-26.
Mayor. You haven't stood shit all day. Well, I take the balance on our
Nice job today, keeping your composure. That means keeping yourselves together this morning when we broke those single trees. Okay? Hanging with me, pulling out of that camp. It got hot out there today. We're about 2 hours late pulling in. I want to say good job to the people that helped me on the road. I think somebody up there was trying to give me a refresher course this morning real quick. Walkers, my hat's off to you. I want to wait about 20 minutes before we water these animals. I know the camp jacks did a nice job. I think, for you guys to look at this beautiful green field here today, when you see Tony the Scout, tell him thank you, because I think he found, this was the third camp that he found for us this morning. When we pulled out, we didn't have a camp. I didn't want to tell you guys that. You might have started worrying about it or something. But he pulled it off, found us a nice piece of ground here. Okay? Let's keep the trash picked up. All that kind of good stuff. 5-star. 5-star. You guys did a nice job on the road. Do not stop now. Do not let down. We need to take care of this train, take care of these animals. About the next half hour. Good job, Walker! Good job, Dion! Walker! I'm not going to dismiss the Walker until Mike Foran. Good job, Dion! Until Mike Foran looks at everybody's feet. You have to shoot the socks off you and your feet down now. Dismiss you after you have your feet checked. Okay, 5-star! 5-star! You gotta watch standing up like that. Okay, Teamster! Teamster! Okay. Good job, Camp Jack! Teamster! Teamster! No, I'm screwing this up. Teamster! Teamster! Let's hear it for the Camp Jack. 1, 2, 3. Way to go, Camp Jack! Way to go! Way to go, Camp Jack! Way to go! Way to go, Camp Jack! Way to go! Oh, Camp Jack! You're helping me out, man. Thought it was too stupid. 1, 2, 3. Way to go, Teamsters! Way to go! Way to go, Teamsters! Way to go! Way to go, Teamsters! Way to go! All right, Teamsters! Okay, Teamsters! Teamsters! 5-star Teamsters! Wagon! Safely! Safely! 1, 2, 3! Teamsters! Teamsters! Aho. Thanks for doing that. I'm out of practice, Mike.
Steve, what's up, Steve?